Hi, it's Mobile Max, and it is Friday, April 4th, 2025, watching California Insider, Epic Times, on YouTube, talking about President Trump's executive orders and how California is set up to, and already has sued and sent these orders into the judicial system to be judged and decided upon. First thing was American birthright. President Trump, one of his executive orders when he first got into office a couple months ago was to revoke the birthright of citizens who were born here. That was the previous law. If you're born here, you're an automatic citizen. But President Trump see that if the parents are illegal aliens and slipped into the United States undocumented, illegal, with this refugee status. Well, the refugee status, being politically or humanitarianly abused and in the country that you came from, well, we let you in, you're a political refugee. But the whole world is like that. It's a cruel, cruel world, and there's gangsters everywhere, and 95% of the populations of the earth that are not a part of the United States of America probably suffer from this, because that's the way the world is now. At any rate, getting back to our subject, if the parents are illegal aliens and they have a child here in the United States, President Trump's executive order will review the status of the parents before issuing citizenship for their newfound baby. But the problem is people use the citizenship right and the birth on our land to become a citizen to protect themselves. In other words, if you got illegal aliens who have no reason legally to be here, who have not gone through the legal immigration system, just piss poor people coming here and taking up all our valuable goods and services meant for the citizens, that they have to review these people before issuing citizenship to the newborn baby. And I think this is reasonable and logical, because the world we live in now, theocracies and other interests use our democratic principles to get into power and take over. And that's what's happening with the illegal aliens. As soon as they have a baby here in our country, the United States of America, they are protected. Because what? Because you'd have to deport the parents of a child and blow up the family, which is very distasteful and considered immoral. So they protect themselves by abusing the system and using citizen birth to protect themselves and stay in this country and use up goods and services meant for the citizens. In addition to that, President Trump issued an executive order sealing the borders and using United States military to enforce the sealing of the border. Well, this is logical too. If you don't want any more illegal aliens just pouring in by the millions into your country, and that's what happened during the Biden administration. The Biden administration, very liberal, opened up our gates and let all these poor people in to use up our services, and criminals and covert operatives bent on destruction of our country slipped in with them. It was terrible. That's the wrong with these liberals. They have zero common sense. I say to the Democrats who are suing in California, who are suing these executive orders, what about me? What about the citizen of the United States of America, citizen of the state of California? What about when I want to use some of this infrastructure? Hospitals, schools, roads, electricity, sewers. They're not infinite. They're limited. For so many people can use this amount of infrastructure. Well, let me give you an example. My mother, who's 97 years old, and is a third-generation American citizen, went to Cedars-Sinai, and it was mobbed. It was mobbed. This took place about a month ago. It was mobbed. Hundreds of people at the emergency room at Cedars-Sinai. My mom, who's 97, had to be in a bed in the hallway, waited for almost a complete day before she was put in a regular room. Why? Because you got all these illegal aliens using up our services. Because the liberals don't give a shit about the citizens. They've got bigger plans in mind, and well, I guess the citizens will just have to suffer. And that's the way the liberals do it. They figure these new poor immigrants, illegal aliens will, when they get the chance to vote, they're going to vote for the Democrats. That's what President Trump and Elon Musk said. They're puffing up their constituency, which makes sense to me. At any rate, California Democrats, before you start taking this liberal action to fight these orders, maybe you should consider the citizens of the United States of America and citizens of the state of California first, before you start letting in all these illegal, undocumented aliens into our country. What about us? What about the citizens? That's all I got to say. Thank you.